Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to your English class. Today I'm going to teach you Chapter 12 The Village Blacksmith from New Images. So, let's study Henry Wordsworth Longfellow's The Village Blacksmith. Henry Wordsworth Longfellow was an American poet and educator. He was born in Portland, Maine, USA. Many of his poems have been translated into 24 languages. The Village Blacksmith is a poem published in the Knickerbocker magazine in 1840. It is believed that this poem is based on him. However, Longfellow told his father that the poem is based on their ancestor Stephen Longfellow, who was a blacksmith. The poem is written as a kind of ballad. A ballad is a form of poetry that tells a story in short stanzas. Let's move to the poem. Under a spreading chestnut tree, the village smithy stands. The smith, a mighty man is he, with large and snowy hands, and the muzzles of his brawny arms are strong as iron bands. These lines mean that what you are seeing in the lines the poet talks about a person, the blacksmith, of course, who is strong and he is standing under the chestnut tree. His hands are stronger than usual, and the poet uses the simile to compare his hands to iron bands in the last line. His hair is crisp and black and long. His face is like the tan. His brow is wet with honest sweat. He earns whatever he can and looks the whole world in the face, for he owes not any man. In the second stanza, Longfellow gives us a further description of the person, blacksmith. He tells us that the blacksmith has long black and crisp hairs. The next thing in his face, which is tan, brownish color. After the first two lines, the next four lines are very important with respect to the meanings and relevant points. The blacksmith's brow is wet with honest sweat, and he earns only what he can. The poet is hinting at the honesty and satisfaction of the blacksmith. He does not borrow from anyone because he earns as per his capacity and does not demand more. He is not greedy, and a person who does not owe to anyone can live a life happy and glee. The expression looks the whole world in the face means to tell the readers that a person who is honest, not greedy, and does not borrow unnecessary can be equal with everyone in the terms of treatment. He won't need to flatter someone. Week in week out, from morn till night, you can hear his bellows blow, you can hear his swing his heavy sledge, with measured beat and slow, like a sexton ringing the village bell, when the evening sun is low. And children coming home from school look in at the open door. They love to see the flaming forge and hear the bellows roar and catch the burning sparks that fly like chaff from a threshing floor. These are all praise for the blacksmith's labor that he does from the morning to the evening until the sun sets. The sounds of his sledges sound like the village bell. A person can always hear his bellows. Bellows means the setup to heat the iron to be able to forge it. And this goes on every day. In the next stanza, Longfellow tells the readers about the school children who, out of curiosity and admiration, love to see the blacksmith's work through the door which remains open. Children love to see the bellows which produce sounds like roaring. Children also love to see the sparks which keep flying and produce a scene like the flying husk during the threshing procedure. He goes on Sunday to the church and sits among his boys. He hears the parson pray and preach. He hears his daughter's voice singing in the village choir, and it makes his heart rejoice. In this stanza, the poet is relaxed and he is feeling us about the soft side in the heart of his strong blacksmith who goes to attend the church every Sunday with his family. The blacksmith hears carefully his preacher's message. He listens to the prayer with joy and also loves to listen to his daughter's voice who plays in the village choir. And all the Sunday episode, the poet says, make the blacksmith happy and satisfied. It sounds to him like her mother's voice singing in paradise. He must think of her once, how in the grave she lies, and with his heart rough hand he wipes a tear out of his eyes. The poet continues the stanza from where he left off in the last one. Longfellow tells us that the blacksmith feels that the voice of his daughter is just like her mother, his wife, who has died, as if she is singing in the heaven. The blacksmith thinks about his wife in the grave and tears flow out of his eyes. He wipes the tears with his hard and rough hands. In these lines, the poet seems to suggest that the outlook of a blacksmith is hardened, but he owns a soft heart which has emotions. Toiling, rejoicing, sorrowing, onward through life he goes. Each morning sees some task begin. Each evening sees it close. Something attempted, something done. He has earned the night's response. Thanks to thee, my worthy friend, for the lesson thou hast taught. Thus, at the flaming forge of life, our fortunes must be wrought. Thus, on its sounding anvil shaped each burning deed and thought. The stanza and the last one after it are very important. As I told earlier, Longfellow is a person who is a poet as well as a preacher who always tends to tell us the right path to go ahead. Blacksmith becomes his vehicle in this poem to tell us what would be the structure of a happy and satisfied life. The blacksmith spends his life working hard, being happy and being sad at times. He keeps moving ahead in his life as each morning he starts something new and ends it with the evening. Every day he works and every night he rests fully. The hard work he does in the morning gives him the sleep of calm in the night. The blacksmith to the poet is an ideal person. And in the last stanza of the poem, which by all means is the most important one, the poet thanks the blacksmith for the lesson that he has taught to the poet, and then the poet taught to the readers. Longfellow tells that we should also learn the lesson of hard work from the village blacksmith and never shy away from determination and labor, which will eventually build our fortunes. This world is just like an anvil on which we have to shape our deeds and thoughts to make ourselves a better person day by day. The poem, The Village Blacksmith, is a beautiful, purposeful, insightful, and meaningful poem. It tells us about the life of a blacksmith who becomes the metaphor for a purposeful life. We must learn from him his hard work and satisfaction. We can always make our lives happy, we can always make ourselves stronger. This is all for today. I hope everyone understood the chapter. And to all those who are appearing in the examination, very best wishes. Do your best and make yourself proud. Thank you.